to the group this year as you guys enter the playoffs, locking up the AFC East early, getting to rest guys in Week 18. How would you just evaluate the state of mind of this roster right now?
Yeah, I think we're just we're one day at a time, one step at a time team. We try not to look into the future. Obviously, we know what's at stake. Obviously, we know it's playoffs, but we're sticking to what we've been doing all year. One step at a time, leaning into the preparation, and the discipline and the fundamentals, all that stuff that's gotten us to this point. So, there's no need to switch things up now.
What type of conversations do you have with a rookie like Keon Coleman, who's going to be playing in his first playoff game on Sunday?
I mean, it's go time, right? Obviously, like I just said, we try and keep it, everything, pretty mellow and what got us to this point. But I think everyone knows what's at stake. Playoffs, I guess you compare it to college, right? Like a bowl game or something like that, rivalry game. The pressure kind of goes up a little bit and things like that. I'm sure he'll be all right. He'll be solid.
Throughout the season, you guys have been successful on offense, not only spreading the ball around in the pass game, but you guys have been balanced running and passing. How important is that, in particular, against a Broncos defense that's good on all levels?
Yeah, I mean, the more you can do, right? Try and be two-dimensional. That's something we talk about, and excelling in both those areas as well. So that's, wideouts when a run play's called, blocking and giving it our all. When a pass play's called, getting to our spot, in the details within everything. So it's everybody really leaning into, run game and pass game, regardless if you're getting the ball or not. Unselfish play.
Matty talked a little bit about kind of the attitude inside the locker room right now heading into the postseason. Do you remember back to, you've played in a lot of these games now, do you remember back to kind of the first playoff experience you had and how much more comfortable maybe you are now?
Yeah, I usually try. I remember my first playoff game, I was kind of like, honestly, for me, it was just like I was leaning on the older guys, Steph, Gabe, and those guys, and they were just like, it's time to go. And my role has, obviously expanded since then. So for me, it's just keeping, that same mentality, just cool, chill, one step at a time, don't look into the future. Just continue to be me, and that goes along with everybody. We didn't get here by everybody acting out of character, We got here by just being ourselves, every individual being themselves and playing for one another, so.
Khalil, you can't ignore the pass rush that the Broncos have. As an offense, what has to happen for you guys to be able to compete against a pass rush like they have?
Yeah, I think with that, I'm very, very, we all are very, very confident in our O-line, as well as, just our communication. I think that's got to be the biggest thing. Just, communication with Josh, whether if we're involved or with the pass rush or anything, just making sure that, we're locked into the details. And obviously that communication between the O-line and Josh. And like I said, they've been great all year, so I'm confident in them.
You said it's been great all year. Josh spoke about it yesterday, the communication that the O-line has with tight ends, with Josh, with everybody on offense. What strikes you about that communication this year that's different?
Yeah, I think it's just more just the attention to details. Obviously you can communicate, but are you really, hearing somebody, right? And I think that's something that we really leaned into this year as far as, we're making sure that we're really, hearing one another, not in one ear out the other, So just really paying attention to what every single person is saying in the communication aspect as to, what needs to get done, because we know if we're off, the slightest bit, the play could be off, So I think everybody's just really, hearing each other. And that goes into, just the execution throughout the week. The practice days are huge with that communication, getting all the different looks that they show and making sure that we're ready to go.
This offense has faced a lot of good defensive backs throughout the season. What makes Pat just elite of the elite?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best, if not the best, guy in his position right now, So, man, I mean, he's just an all-around, really good player. You have certain people who, might be good in man and might be good in zone. He's an all-around, it's almost like you build somebody, you're building a perfect corner, and that's him, So he's really good at what he does. We got to make sure that we're definitely, on top of our A game when, whoever is going up against him, and making sure, as well as obviously within the play, doing what you need to do to get open.
I know he, going off that, Pat is a talented cornerback, but just the way you guys spread the ball around offensively, do you think that helps you offensively, just knowing that, there's not just one guy that he can try to pick apart? He's got 5 different receivers and a couple tight ends and running backs that come out of the backfield that can all make plays for you guys.
Yeah, I think it's obviously he's one guy, so it's not like he can be in the same spot, 5 different times on the same play. So I think definitely that helps. I think, that everybody eats mentality and what we've leaned into this year is definitely going to help us out a lot. So